Hey guys, it's Greg. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to solve the age-old mystery. Does a high-gain amp really need a boost? Now I know what you're thinking.
Hey Greg, everyone knows I'm a chuggy little boosty boy. It's gotta go boost, and stack all the boost. I need the boost.
Well, shut up and don't be silly, little chuggy boost boy. Alright, before you go me, listen to my reasonings and then comment below. You're welcome. So if you're on any of the gear groups on Facebook, you're watching my videos, anybody else's videos, looking at the comments, the last year or two, there's been such an obsession with,
oh, I gotta boost my high gain amp. I gotta go boost.
Okay, we get it. You know, everybody likes a boost. So before you jump down my throat, I like a boost. Everybody likes a boost. But do we really need it? So today's video, I'm going to point out 6 reasons why you probably don't. So before I'm going to talk about all the reasons, and at the end, I'm going to give you specific sound examples, and then you can use your own ears and brain to really see if what I'm talking about is true and if you really actually need a boost or not. You're welcome. Okay, so I have 6 different examples that I'm going to use on this that are really going to make you kind of think, and then again, I'll show you sound examples at the end to really point out exactly what I'm talking about, and then you can decide for yourselves, me or not, in the comments below afterwards. Okay, so point number 1, let's define what we're talking about by boost. Now, I'm old school, and typically when people talked about boost, it was a mid boost, it was a treble boost, it was a clean boost. But now we're just talking about overdrive. So specifically, that's what we're going to be talking about here. You know,
what's the most aggressive boost? What's the most brutal boost?
All the stupid questions that we see 500 times a day on all the groups. That's what we're talking about. An overdrive is really what we're talking about. Okay, so point number 2. Now, we all love using boost, but why? Okay, yes, it tightens up your amp, gives you a little bit of extra, mids or lows or highs or whatever it is. It's kind of like adding an extra bit of, special sauce on your steak or something like that. But do you really need it? Most high gain amps have so much gain and compression on them anyways, you don't actually really need to tighten it up. 5150, a 6505, any Engel amp, tons of others. They don't really, 7 gain stages on a 5150. Do you really need it any tighter, any more saturated? No, you really don't. But everyone acts like, I have to. What's the best boost for that? Okay, so point number 3. What are some high gain amps that actually need a boost? Now, the only one that really comes to mind is something like a Mesa rectifier, something that's got a really flubby low end with not a lot of mids, not a lot of clarity, or anything that's kind of voiced similar, maybe like a Bogner Ubershaw, something like that. But, that's really it. Those are the only ones I could think of that, you have to use a boost. And guess what? I use a Mesa triple rectifier for 7-8 years in my old metal band, and I never used a boost.
Oh my God, how'd you do that?
I just learned to tighten up my playing.
Oh my God, what a weird idea.
I know, but you can do it. If I can do it, so can you. Okay, so point number 4. What are some amps that actually need a boost, besides a Mesa rectifier? Well, I think everyone's kind of thinking, mistakenly, everyone's kind of thinking of a mid-gain amp or a low-gain amp. Now, obviously, a Plexi would need one, a JCM 800, anything that's kind of voiced like that. Those are the amps that actually need boost, and I'll be showing you an example of that. I'll use my Marshall DSL 20. I'll show you an example that's basically voiced like a JCM 800, and that one definitely you can hear and feel that it's, it needs to be tightened up. So I'll show you that one, and then I'll show you my Engel Fireball, which has more gain and compression than anyone needs, and which does not need a boost. But more on that later. Okay, point number 5. Now, the only time I can think of, because I'm sure a lot of you right now, it's not true. Well, the only other time I can see where you really need a boost, for your high gain amp is if you have super low output PAF pickups, 8K or something like that. If you're just playing super vintage style pickups. But the thing is, everybody who's always arguing, I need a boost, it's chunky, blah, 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 you guys are playing super high output active pickups. So this really doesn't apply to probably 99% of you guys. And finally, number 6. Have you ever noticed how all pro level guitarists, all famous guitarists, only have one boost on their board? Malmsteen, Paul Gilbert, Zach Wilde, they're all playing kind of mid-gain Marshalls, and they all have their own signature overdrives. Now, they don't have 20, like all you guys putting all your boards together. Oh, it's got 20 boosts, so aggressive. Well, if it was such a need to have so many boosts and all these different things, then why do all these guys just have one? Think about that. Okay, so, now that I've got through all these points and you still disagree, oh my God, she's totally wrong. Well, shut up. I'm going to use sound examples now, again, so you can hear it. So we're going to start with my Marshall DSL-20. I have my gain set about noon to 1 o'clock. I'm going to show you some chug examples tuned a full step down with my FGN Odyssey Boundary Super Strat guitar. All right, so I'm going to show you in clip 1 how the amp would sound without a boost. In clip 2, I'm going to hit it with my SD1, which is my personal favorite for that. Then we're going to switch over to my Ingle Fireball, and same thing. The gain is on like barely even 1 o'clock with that. I'll show you how that sounds, and then I'm going to hit it with my brand new Pepper's Dirty Tree, and we're going to hear the difference adding that and see if it's really, does it need to actually be tightened up? Does it need all these things that, oh my God, Chuggy Boost Boys, and again, I'm only going to be doing, chug style riffs with this. In my opinion, this stuff is meant more for leads. Like I use an overdrive more for, legato and sweeps and things like that. But I know everyone's a Chuggy Boost Boy. So I'm just going to be doing chug riffs so we can hear the difference. Signal chain for this, FGN Odyssey Boundary, into both amps, into my Ingle 212 with V30s, and I'm miking it up with an SM57. Alright guys, so that'll do it for the video. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? My conclusion is yes. Obviously, using a boost is great. It adds more mids, it adds more gain, it tightens things up. There's a lot of things you can do using a boost that you can't do with just a standalone amp. But do we really need it? My opinion is, look, you can eat a piece of steak without using A1 sauce. You can play a high gain amp without putting some special sauce and doing an overdrive with it. Maybe you don't like it as much. Sure, I don't want a plain steak as much as I want it drenched in A1 sauce. Delicious. But it can be done. It's not a need. And if you really think you need it, look inward. The problem is you need to work on your playing and tighten that up, not using gear to compensate for your own lack of precision and ability. I know, I said it. You're welcome. All right, guys. As always, like, share, subscribe, join the Patreon, and if you want private one-on-one 30, 45, or 60-minute lessons with me, I have my email in the video description below. I will summon you. for the next video.
Okay. Chucky, choo choo, I need a boost, Dad.
Daddy.
That'll be good for the outtakes. Whoops, sorry. Man.
Oh no!
She's okay. She just